Today we're going to pick up where we left off yesterday and talk about our informative writing and the beginning and the middle of our writing pieces. This is Mrs. Rosenzweig from Floral Street School, and I'm excited to do some writing with you today. So yesterday I shared with you that I read a book on coral reefs and got really interested in them. And so yesterday I collected my facts all about the different things that I learned about coral reefs in the book. And I took those facts and I put them into my writing pillar. And we went over this writing pillar together and really focused on the middle part of our writing. And this is what I came up with right here. Coral reefs are home to millions of plants and animals. They exist in the ocean closer to shore where the water is warmer. Coral reefs are important for many reasons. So that was my introduction that I took from here, and I actually used a couple more facts from my fact sheet to make that super interesting and hook my reader. Okay, then I went ahead and went to my first idea. The first thing you should know about coral reefs is that there are many different types of coral. Coral is made up of polyps and can be either hard or soft. So then I gave some details. Okay. Did you also know we need to protect coral reefs? Protecting coral reefs was my second idea. Coral is very fragile. The burning of fossil fuels are causing the ocean to warm up, which kills algae. Algae is food for coral reefs. So I used some of my facts. I wasn't able to use all of them, but some of them in the second idea portion of my writing. You're also going to notice that I use some really cool sentence starters that you can also use. Like the first thing you should know about, or did you also know, are just some examples of sentence starters that you could use. Some other sentence starters are, did you know that, which was what I used for my second idea. You should also know that. You can also, for talking about those details, say, for example, or plus. Okay, so these are just some ideas of what you can use as you're writing your beginning and your middle. We also talked about different ways you can start your introduction. So I started with a couple interesting facts, and they give you some sentence starters right here. You also could start with a riddle, and they help you write your own. And you could also ask a question. And they give examples of all of these here, and then they help you get started writing your own. So make sure to choose one of these when you're writing your introduction today. So I was still interested about coral reefs, so I decided to do a little bit more research, and I decided to read a book on the black tip reef shark. So these are some pictures of the black tip reef shark. It actually lives in coral reefs. That's its habitat. So I took a ton of facts that I collected from that book, and I filled out the pillar. Okay. So my introduction is going to be black tip reef sharks, and I'm going to choose either a riddle or a question or a fact to start my introduction with. My first idea is black tip reef sharks are easy to identify. That means you can figure out that that's a black tip reef shark pretty easily. The tips of the shark's fins are dark, like black color. They're thin sharks. They have a rounded nose, and their top tail fin is longer than their bottom. So I just kind of gave some descriptions about how to identify a black tip reef shark. Okay. Then I wanted to talk about the black tip reef shark's habitat. So I went ahead and I talked about where you can find them. So they live on coral reefs. They like warm, shallow water, and many are found near Australia and South Asia. Okay, and then for my conclusion, I'm just restating, I'm kind of saying again what I wrote about. And the sentence I used was black-tip reef sharks are a unique type of shark. And I might add another fact in there. So this is what you're going to use to write your introduction and your middle today. So go ahead, you can stop this video, and I want you to write an introduction and a middle with your first idea and details and your second idea and details. Happy writing!